Hey everyone, so welcome back to my channel again. In this video, we are completely discussing about the questions which are based on most of the chapters of your book, right, of class 10th. Uh, Please understand the concept of the questions so that they can help you in other questions too. Also, concepts are very important. Don't grasp them, and after seeing the video, please try to do the questions again by yourself so that the concept will dissolve in you. Okay, so let's start the video.
The first question is find the value of p from the polynomial x squared plus 3x plus p if one of the zeros of the polynomial is 2. So this question is from chapter polynomials, right? This question is from polynomials chapter. And when you will learn polynomial, so first you will understand what is a polynomial. Then you have to understand the classification of polynomial. You have to understand about the degree of polynomial, very important. The coefficient, what are constant, what is variable, and the constant polynomial you have to understand, zero polynomial you have to understand, and their degrees, right? And the most important thing is the zeros of the polynomial. So these are the topics that you have to learn while taking the chapter polynomial. Now moving towards this question. In this question, we have a polynomial x square plus 3x plus p. Now, why this is the polynomial? Because there are three terms. Also, the highest degree of this polynomial is 2. Okay, the highest degree of this polynomial is 2, right? Now, how we can find out the value of p? Now, whenever the 0 is given to you of any polynomial, 0 means that if 2 is given as a 0 of this polynomial, this 2 we can put in the place of x, and this value as 2 makes the complete polynomial equals to 0. So whenever you have a 0, 0 means 0, or the other name of this is factor, and also the name is roots also. Roots of the polynomial, zeros of the polynomial, or factors of the polynomial. Now, whenever you have a 0 of a polynomial, you put that value in the alphabet part and put that complete polynomial equals to 0, right? So when we will put 2 in the place of x, now you will ask me, ma'am, p is also an alphabet, why you have not put p as 2? Because we have to find out the value of p, and always remember that the 0 you will put always in this part at the place of x, or it may be y, it may be any other alphabet, right? So 2 square means 2 times 2, which is 4. 3 times 2 is 6, plus p is equals to 0. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 plus p is equals to 0. Now, because we have to find out p, so we have to leave p in alone in the left hand side and take this 10 to the right hand side. When a number which is of positive sign changes its side, it will become negative. So the value of p is minus 10. Okay, so I think the question is clear to you, and the topics of this polynomial chapter that I have told you in the starting, please understand them. Okay, and if you have any problem, then tell me in the comment box about the topics. Now let's move to the next question. So this is the question from trigonometry. Now we have to understand. So the question is sine A minus 2 sine cube A divided by 2 cos cube A minus cos A. So we have to prove it equals to tan A. So this is the question of proof. Whenever you have the question of proof, always either you can take left hand side, solve it, and make it equal to the right hand side, or in some questions you have to solve the right hand side and put it equal to the make it equal to the left hand side, or in some question sometimes you have to solve both the parts and make them equal. But in this question, the right hand side is already sorted, tan A. Okay, so we have to solve the left hand side. So what will we do in left hand side? We know that in the numerator we have sine A and sine cube A. In the denominator we have cos cube A and cos A. See, sine is there in the numerator and cos A we have in the denominator. So we'll take sine A common from the numerator. What is left here? Because we have taken out sine A, so 1 is left here, and here 2 sine square A is left, because 3 sine A we have, so 1 we have taken out, so 2 is left. Similarly, in the denominator we have cos A. Okay, so we'll take cos A common, and what is left? 2 cos square A minus 1. This is left. Now, we know that this and this, they are not same, because in one part we have sine square A and in another part we have cos square A. And we know the identity that sine square A plus cos square A is equals to 1. So either you will put in the place of sine square A as 1 minus cos square A, or you want to put in the denominator the value of cos square A, that is 1 minus sine square A. So I will put in the numerator, right? I will put in the numerator. So sine square A is what? Just I have written in the left hand side. This is. Now, please put in the bracket, because we are taking two terms. There is not one term only, right? Now, 2 cos square A minus 1. So next what we have to do? Sine A. Now 1 minus 2, we will open the bracket. So it will become positive, because minus minus is plus. And cos A, 2 cos square A minus 1. Now, what we have to do after this? So please focus here up till. Okay, now what we have to do? Now, I am just rubbing the above part. What I have to do? I will take this part, solve this part. So it is sine A. 1 minus 2 is what? Minus 1. Minus 1 plus 2 cos square A upon cos A, 2 cos square A minus 1. Now the brackets are exactly same. Why? Because here also 2 cos square A is of positive sign, and here 2 cos square A is also of positive sign. One is of negative, one is of negative. So they both are same bracket. So I will cancel them. One more thing, very, very important. Why I am cancelling them? Because this bracket, the numerator bracket, the bracket in the numerator is in multiplication with the sine A, and bracket in the denominator is in multiplication with the cos A. So when we have the terms in multiplication, we will cancel out numerator and denominator very easily when they are same. So what is left here is only sine A by cos A, which is equals to tan A. Okay, and which is equals to right hand side. So we have proved this. So in this question, I have first taken common sine A from the numerator, cos A from the denominator. Then I have used the identity, which is sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. How I got this identity, I have a video, so I will put the link in the description box. You can take that. Okay, so this is a very, very important question, right? So let's take another question. So I think it's very much clear to you. So let's take another question. Now, moving towards the another question. This is the question from polynomial again. Does the polynomial a4, a power 4, 4a square plus 5 have real zeros? Now, you know what are zeros. Zero means the factors. Factor means when you will put the value of that factor, this whole equation will be equal, becomes zero, right? Now, when they are talking about the real zeros, so in real zeros, you have two parts. Either the roots are equal or they are distinct. When they are saying zeros, so please understand it. Now, in class 10th, you have learned about the power 2 only, the quadratic equation you have learned. Quadratic. Here the highest degree is 4. So what you have to take? You have to take a square as x. You have to let a square as x. Why I have taken? Because I know that how I will write this a raised to the power 4 as a power 2 power 2. I can write like this. Yes or no? Okay. Now, what I have taken a square, I have taken as it x, again x plus 5, right? Now, what I will do, they are asking me whether this polynomial have real zeros or not. So what I have to do to get to see whether the zeros are real or not, I have to find D. What is D here in polynomial? The capital D is discriminant. The capital D is discriminant. What is discriminant formula? So D is equals to B square minus 4AC. This is the formula for discriminant. Now I have to see that whether the formula applies here or not. And if the formula applies here, then what value it will give to me. Then as per the value, I will decide whether zeros are real or not. Now, the question is, what do you mean by real zeros or not? You have already know that there are two types of number. One, real numbers, and second one, the imaginary number, the complex number. Real numbers are those gives you the positive numbers or zero. Negative numbers are also real numbers, but when you have negative number in under root, in square root, then that number is not real. Under root minus 2 is not real. It is a complex number, right? So it is not a real number. So I will find out b square minus 4ac. So whenever you have a polynomial like this, so what is a here? This is a, nothing is there, so a is 1. What is b here? This is b with sign, so plus 4, and c is 5. Now when I will put in the discriminant formula, so what I will get? 4 square minus 4 into 1 into 5, which is 16 minus 20, which is minus 4. Now, because I am getting minus 4, so the roots are not real. But you will say that, ma'am, the answer is coming minus 4, which is a real number. No, whenever we are finding zeros, we are using a formula that I will tell you. But here, please understand how I am getting D here as minus 4. So I have applied a formula for discriminant, that is b square minus 4ac, which is very, very important. So first find out D. D is minus 4, okay? And please remember this thing, that the power of the polynomial which is given in the question is power 4. First, I have converted it into a quadratic equation, right? Into quadratic equation. And then this quadratic equation I got, then I have find out D. Because power 4, we have not learned power 4. We have learned about the power 2 only, right? We have learned about the quadratic polynomial in class 10th, right? Now D is there. Now D is there. Okay, which is minus 4, which is a real number, but it means it has real zero. But please understood one thing. So after this, what you have to do, you have a quadratic formula, which is x is equals to minus p plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Just forget everything. You know that this b square minus 4 is in under root in the formula, and you have minus 4. It means you have minus 4 under root. So from D only you will get to know, you don't have to put everything in this formula. You know that D is coming minus 4, which is less than 0. And when you have D as less than 0, the roots are not real. The zeros are not real. Okay. So I think it's clear to you. So roots are not real. Is that clear? So we have understood this thing. Now, whenever you somebody will say, or in exams you have that, please tell me whether the roots, well, the polynomial has real roots or not, you just have to use the formula for D, which is b square minus 4ac. If answer is coming negative, roots are not real. If it is equals to 0, then roots are real and equal. And if the roots are greater than 0, then the roots are real and distinct. So please remember this thing. You have to understand in chapter polynomial this also, right? Now moving takes the next question. So let's go. So this is the next question from chapter triangles. Now in triangle you have learned BPT, that is basic proportionality theorem, or called as Thales theorem. What does that theorem says? That if DE is parallel to BC. Then if DE is parallel to BC, so according to BPT, basic proportionality theorem, because we are talking about proportional, so we can take the parts of the sides that AD by DB is equals to AE by EC. So the ratios are in proportion to each other. Proportion means the ratios are equal to each other. So AD by DB is equals to AE by EC. When it will happen? When DE is parallel to BC. Okay, when D is parallel to BC. So we have this ratio are in proportion. Ratios are in proportion. Okay, now we don't have AD. We have to find out, because the question is find out AD. So we don't have AD. We have DB, which is 7.2. We have AE 1.8 and we have EC 5.4. Now, whenever we have to solve these type of question, what we will do, we will simply cross multiply. When we will multiplying, so we are multiplying AD with 5.4 and 1.8 with 7.2. Now, after that, because we have to find AD, so we left AD in the left hand side and take 5.4 to the right hand side, because 5.4 is in multiplication here. So when it change its side, multiply will become divide. Now point is cancelling out with point because they both have points after one place. So they will cancel out. Point is cancel out with this point. Now 9 times 6 is 54 and 9 times 8 is 72. 6 times 1 is 6 and 6 times 3, because in 1.8 you have already a point. So it is 0.8. Now what is the answer? So AD you will get 0.3 times 8, which is 2.4. So AD is 2.4 with the unit centimeter. Okay. So by this you can easily find out. So in triangles chapter, please in class 10th, in similarity, please learn the BPT theorem, which is very, very important. So I will make a particular video on BPT, which is very important theorem, right? So what does BPT says? It says that when a line is parallel to the one side of a triangle, then that line divides the other two sides in equal ratio. Okay, so the ratios are in proportion, right? So let's move to the next question. So this is the third question we have done. Now moving towards the next question, which is a question from a coordinate geometry, a very, very important question, easier one also. The question is find a relation between x and y such that the point xy is equidistant from the point this and this. We have to find a relation only. We don't have to find out the value of x and y. Now what they are saying, that this point is equidistant from this. So there is a point which is 7, 1. There is a point 3, 5, and there is also a point x, y. What they are saying, suppose this is point P, this is point Q, and this is point R. What they are saying, that Q point is it at equal place from P and it is at equal distance from Q also, right? So it means PQ is equals to QR. We know that this question is from coordinate geometry. So how we will perform this question? In coordinate geometry, you have learned distance formula, which is very, very important. So please learn distance formula. And what is the distance formula? That is under root, the square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So this is the distance formula. Now what is x2, x1? What is y2, y1? How I will get it? When we are solving PQ, when we are taking P and Q, so P will give you x1, y1 and Q will give you x2, y2. When we are talking about particular P and Q point, the distance between P and Q, it means we are talking about P and Q. So P will give you x1, y1 and Q will give you x2, y2. So PQ is equals to x2 is x only because x is here. And what is x1? 7 plus y minus 1 whole square. Now what is left? X minus 7 whole square, and same I have written, right? So I'm not opening it right now. I have just written like this and I'm leaving here right now. So this is PQ. Now what is QR? Similarly, when we are talking about QR, when I'm talking about QR, so Q will give me x1, y1 and R will give me x2, y2. So formula, you know that this is the formula. Again, I'm putting. So what is x2? It is 3 and x is x1 here. Now y is 5 and this is y square. Now I don't have to open it right now. Now what I will do, I know that PQ is equals to PR. Now PQ is equals to PR. So I will put this and this equation equals to each other. So when I am putting these equation equals to each other, so x minus 7 square plus y minus 1 whole square is equals to x 3 minus x whole square and 5 minus y whole square, right? Now after that, when now in the left hand side, the under root is on complete value, and in right hand side also the under root is in under root is on complete value. So under root will cancel out with under root, and what is left? The left part is x minus whole square plus y minus whole square is equal to this square plus this square, right? Now what I have to do, now I will open the identities. So please focus on the question how I'm doing. Now I have to open the values, right? How I will open it? This is a minus b whole square, and what is the identity of a minus b whole square? A minus b whole square is a square plus b square minus 2ab, right? Now what is a here? X. So it is x square plus 49, 7 square 49, and multiply 2 multiply x multiply 7. Similarly, I am just using y minus 1 whole square. So what is y square plus 1 minus 2 multiply y multiply 1, which is 2y only. Now is equals to, again I am solving the 3 minus x whole square, which is 9 plus x square, and 2ab means 2 multiply 3 multiply x, which is 6x, and 5 minus y whole square is 25 plus y square minus 2 multiply 5 multiply y, 10y. Always remember, number will multiply with number only, and it will not multiply with alphabet. Or you can write it as like 2 times 5 times y means 10y, right? Now we know that in the left hand side also and in right hand side also we have x square in same sign. When you have both sides numbers with the same sign, they will cancel out. Similarly, y square is also cancel out with y square. Now what is left? Now I have to rub something to make you understand. So I'm rubbing from here, right? So I'm rubbing from here. Now please focus on the part. So what is left is 49 minus 14x plus 1 minus 2y is equals to 9 minus 6x plus 25 minus 10. So 49 plus 1 is 50 because they will, and minus 14x and minus 2y is equals to 9 plus 25 is how much? 34 minus 6x minus 10y. Now in the left hand side, all the terms are unlike terms. They will not solve with each other. And in the right hand side also we have unlike terms. They will also not solve with each other. Now what we will do, we will take all the sides either in the left or in the right side. So we have 50 minus 14x minus 2y minus 34 plus 6x plus 10y. You know that when numbers will change its sides, sign will also get changed. Plus become minus and minus will become plus, right? Now, please understand one thing. $50 will solve with minus 34. They are like terms. So what is 16? Minus 14x plus 6 is minus 8x, and minus 2y plus 10y is plus 8y, which is equals to 0. And this is the final answer. So we have a relation. You don't have to find out the value of x and y here. You just have to find out the relation between x and y. So the relation is that minus 8x plus 8y plus 60 is equals to 0. So that's the relation. That's the answer, right? So I think the question is clear. So in this question, what we have understood is a distance formula. that is under root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, under root, or we can call it as square root, right? And when you have square root on the complete term, square root will cancel out with square root. Here we have proved it. It's very, very important. So understood it very nicely. Okay. So let's take another question. Now the question is, again, the question is from coordinate geometry. Find a ratio in which the line segment joining the point this and this is divided by this. You have, in this question, you have to find out the ratio. Now, in this question, there is a thing that line segment. There is a line segment joining the points. So this point is minus 3, 10, and this point is 6, 8. Now, you have to find out the ratio. This line is divided by a point. So this point is P, take, this is SQ and this is SR. So R is dividing this line and the coordinate of R is minus 1, 6. Now you have to tell me that this line divided PQ, this point dividing PQ in what ratio? So R is dividing PQ, R is dividing ratio, and you have to tell the ratio, right? Now to find out the ratio, we are using the section formula. We are using section formula. And what is section formula in coordinate geometry? Everybody knows it, because in between we have point R. So we can take it as R x comma y is equals to, yes, m1. If you want to take these coordinates as m1 and m2, or in books you have m and n ratio. So whatever, it's completely your choice. You want to take m1 ratio m2, or you want to take m ratio n, or you want to take a ratio b, or you want to take, don't take x and x ratio y. So I am taking m1 m2. It's easy for me. So right, you can take m and n also. So what is the formula? m1 x2 plus m2 x1 divided by m1 plus m2, comma, m1 again y2 plus m2 y1 divided by m1 plus m2. So this is the section formula. Nothing you have to do, you just have to put the values, right? Now this point is in between, not in complete between. There is some point in between in on the line segment. It is not in between. If it is in between, the ratio will be 1:1. But this is not in between. Remember this thing. This ratio is lie on the line PQ, but it's lie within the line, right? So what is x comma y? What are the points of R? We know that -1. So R is equals to -1, 6. Not R is equals to, this is R, right? R, I have write R very far. So this R now is equals to, what is M1? So I'm putting the values in the formula. We have to find out M1. Okay. Now, what is X2? I know that I'm using these 2 points. I'm changing the color so that it will be easier for you. So I'm using these 2 points. So this will be X1, Y1, and this will be x2 y2, right? So m1 x2, m1 multiply x2. So what is x2? It is 6. So it is 6, right? Plus m2, what is x1? It is -3 divided by m1 plus m2, comma. Now again m1 y2 plus m2 y1 divided by m1 plus m2, right? Now, next is r -1, 6 is equals to 6m1, because we have minus with 3, so plus minus is minus. So we can't take plus. Now plus minus will become minus. So -3m2 divided by m1 plus m2, comma, -8m1 plus 10m2 and m1 plus m2. Please dissolve this in your mind first, right? Dissolve this in your mind. So up till here, I think things are clear to you. Now after this, what we have to do? We just have to take this part equals to this and this part equals to 6, because we are taking x is equals to x and y is equals to y only. So after this, what we have to do? Now please see, I am rubbing something. So after this, what we have to do? I am taking -1 is equals to 6m1 minus 3m2 and m1 plus m2. So I am solving this first. So I am taking this to the left hand side. So they both term, they will multiply with -1. So it will become minus m2 is equals to 6m1 minus 3m2. Now I will solve like term. 6m1 will go to the left hand side, it will become of minus, so it will 7m1. 3m2 will also go to the left hand side. I am not taking 3m2 on the left hand side, I am taking m2 to the right hand side. So 3m2 plus m2. So it will become 7m1 is equals to minus 2m2, right? So the value of m1 will come is equals to minus 2m2 by minus 7. Minus minus will cancel out. So m1 is equals to 2m2 by 7. 2m2 by 7. Up till here, I think it's clear, right? Now what I have to do? What I have to do? Now I will put y is equals to y. I will put y is equals to y. Now I will put 6 is equals to minus 8m1 plus 10m2 divided by m1 plus m2. Now I will take this is in multiplication with 6. So both term will multiply with 6. So 6m1 plus 6m2 is equals to minus 8m1 plus 10m2. Now I will solve like terms. So these are two like terms. So I am taking 6m1 plus 8m1, because 8 is of minus and it will change its side, it will become of plus. 10m2 minus 6m2, not plus, right? So minus 6m2. So it will become 14m1 is equals to how much? 4m2. 4m2, right? Now, what is the ratio? m1 by m2 is equals to 4 by 14, which is 2 over 7. And here also, if you will see, I am changing the color because the thing is very, very interesting. m1 m2 is equals m1 by m2 is equals to 2 over 7. And here also, m1 over m2 is equals to 2 over 7. So it means the ratio in which the line is dividing is the 2:7. So you don't have to put both the values equals, x is equal to x or y is equal to y, to show you that you are getting the correct answer. If you are getting the correct answer, your both ratios will come same. So m1 by m2 is equals to 2 over 7 from putting y is equal, and also when we are putting x is equals to equal, then again m1 by m2 is equals to 2 over 7. So the ratio is 2:7. Okay. So I think it's clear to you. So please learn the section formula. Again, I'm telling to you, which is P, Q, R, whatever you want to take, whatever the point is on the line in between, please take that in the left hand side. And the formula is m2x1 plus m1 x2 by m1 plus m2 comma m2y1 plus m1y2 divided by m1 by m2. Always remember, when you are taking m1, take x1. When you are taking m2, when you are taking m2, take x1. When you are taking m1, take x2. Right? So 2 1 2 1 2 like this. Right? Okay. So this is the question from trigonometry.